Have you ever sat across from someone on a date, someone you were genuinely interested in, and felt a phantom buzz in your pocket? A ghost vibration. And in that split second, your attention fractured, your focus dissolved, and you were no longer truly there. What if I told you that the single greatest obstacle to finding profound love, to building a magnetic presence, and to achieving relentless focus in your work isn't your looks, your income, or your social status? What if I told you the enemy is the glowing rectangle in your hand, and the war it's waging is for your very soul? This isn't about just wasting time. This is about a chemical hijacking of your brain's reward system, a system that was meant to drive you toward accomplishment, connection, and survival, but is now being used to turn you into a docile consumer of infinite, meaningless novelty. Today, we're not just talking about a digital detox. That's child's play. We are talking about a fundamental reprogramming of your mind. We are going to turn the very neurochemical that keeps you addicted, distracted, and lonely, dopamine, into your number one tool for building a life of unshakable purpose and deep, meaningful relationships. This is the Stoic way to master the modern world. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn will change the way you see everything. Let's be brutally honest. That device in your pocket is not a neutral tool. It is a slot machine. Billions of dollars and the brightest minds from MIT and beyond have been poured into one singular goal: to get a little more usage out of you. Every notification, every infinite scroll, every red bubble is meticulously designed to give you a tiny squirt of dopamine, the molecule of more. It's the same chemical that makes cocaine so addictive. And it makes you want more of whatever you did to get it in the first place. The problem is, through this constant overstimulation, we become desensitized. Our dopamine receptors get worn out. Think of it like this: your brain has a certain number of workers, receptors, ready to receive the dopamine paycheck. When you flood the system constantly, many of those workers just stop showing up. This creates a terrifying reality. Low sensitivity to reward means you need mountains of stimulation just to feel okay. A beautiful sunset, a nice song, a deep conversation with a potential partner, it all feels dull, boring, and tasteless, like the food at a silent meditation retreat. To get that same hit, you now need to scroll TikTok while playing a video game and gobbling down ice cream. And here's the devastating truth for your dating life: when your brain is wired for this level of hyperstimulation, the subtle, nuanced, and deeply rewarding process of human connection can't compete. You become bored easily. You can't tolerate the natural lulls in conversation. You find yourself reaching for your phone not because you want to, but because you are biologically uncomfortable with the quiet presence of another human being. You are, in essence, a ghost on your own dates. Is it any wonder we feel so disconnected when we're living in a world that demands too much of us through our devices? They say the average person checks their phone over 200 times a day. That's 200 times you are pulling the lever on the slot machine. 200 times you are training your brain to prefer the digital mirage over the tangible reality. But what if you could flip the script? What if you could desensitize your brain to find the profound rewarding again? What would happen to your productivity, your focus, and your relationships if you were as thrilled with having a deep conversation as you were with scrolling through an endless feed? This is not a fantasy. This is what happens when you calibrate your sensitivity to reward. And the first step, paradoxically, is to embrace the one thing our modern world has taught us to fear: boredom. Step 1. Master the art of doing nothing. The next time you're waiting in line for coffee, or your friend runs to the bathroom at lunch, what do? The impulse is subconscious, isn't it? The hand moves to the pocket, the screen lights up, and you fill that in-between moment with another hit of information. This has to stop. The Stoics knew that our time is precious and our life is scarce, we must use them wisely. They sought to control what they could, and your attention is the primary thing you can control. Inhabiting these in-between moments is your first training ground. When you arrive early for a meeting, just sit there. Without your phone. When you're commuting, just drive in silence. It will feel uncomfortable at first. You will feel an itch, an urge. This is withdrawal. But by tolerating these moments of low stimulation, you are recalibrating your entire system. You are lowering your baseline for what's boring. And this brings us to the second, more active part of this step, the boring break. Most people, when they take a break from work, engage in something more stimulating than the work itself, scrolling social media, reading the news, checking email. This is a critical mistake. Imagine trying to go back to reading a dense research paper after an hour of swiping through the instant, infinite novelty of Instagram. The paper will feel like torture. Now, imagine the inverse. Stare at a wall for 10 minutes. No, I'm not joking. Just stare at a wall. Or take a short walk without headphones. Do some light stretching. Let the snow globe of your attention settle. When you do this, you starve your brain of that easy dopamine. And that dopamine-seeking rat inside you gets hungry. It starts to crave engagement. Suddenly, that boring research paper, that dull work project, starts to look incredibly appealing. You are weaponizing your brain's own reward system to make it crave hard work. And here's the cliffhanger I promised you. When you practice this, your newfound sensitivity doesn't just apply to work. When you sit down on a date, you are no longer a dopamine fiend looking for your next fix. You are a calm, centered presence. You don't need the other person to entertain you constantly. You can simply be with them. You find the conversation itself deeply rewarding. This state of being is incredibly rare, and it is magnetic. It signals emotional stability, self-control, and presence, the very foundations of attraction. Step 2. Become an essentialist. Now that you're training your mind internally, it's time to control your environment externally. The philosophy here is digital minimalism. The goal is simple: cut the clutter, keep only what is essential. Your phone is likely a digital maximalist's nightmare. Notifications popping off, apps pinging your screen, your attention being constantly sucked away from your own purposes. You have to understand that you are in a relationship with your devices, and right now, most of us are in a troubled, codependent one. You must consciously choose the terms of this relationship. So, here's your plan. First, become a scientist of your own habits. Most phones have a screen time setting that shows your daily app usage. Look at it. Every single day. Don't judge, just observe. Which apps are the problem? For me, it was a few specific ones. I made a rule, under 1 hour a day on those apps, total. Just by monitoring it, my usage plummeted from multiple hours to less than 1. You control what you measure. Second, be ruthless. Look at your phone app by app. As yourself, does this truly add value to my life, or is it just a distraction machine? You can uninstall most of them, and if you truly need them later, you can always reinstall them. It's a nearly downside-free action. Think of it like cleaning out your pantry. I know that if I have my favorite dessert at home, I will eat it. So, some weeks, I just don't buy it. Apply that same logic to your apps. With fewer distractions, it becomes exponentially easier to focus. Third, expand this to your physical environment. Many of us turn to our phones to escape a cramped, cluttered, or stressful space. When you clean up your physical environment, when you make your area a place you enjoy being, the impulse to digitally escape begins to fade. Organize your desk. Clean your room. You are creating an environment where you no longer need to run away. You are making a conscious choice to be present in your own life. This process isn't just about removing things. It's about asking what you're replacing the behavior with. If you're scrolling because you're lonely, a common problem, with 1 in 3 Americans reporting this feeling, then the solution isn't just to stop scrolling, it's to find real connection. Join a local sports club, a trivia night, or a book group. Research overwhelmingly shows that in-person time is exceptionally good for your mental health. You are substituting a low-quality digital fix with a high-quality real-world solution. Step 3. The superpower of singular focus. This brings us to the final, most powerful step. This is the skill that, once mastered, will make you a titan in your work and irresistible in your relationships. It's the ability to do one thing at a time. When you're eating, just eat. When you're working, just work. And when you are having a conversation with someone, just converse. I'll be honest, as I've trained this skill, I've become laughably bad at multitasking. My team makes fun of me because if I'm walking with them and need to send a text, I literally have to stop walking, stop talking, and stand there silently while I type. Why does this happen? In your brain, there's an interplay between two networks, the default mode network, DMN, which is active when you're mind-wandering, and the task-positive network, TPN, which takes over when you're focused. My brain has become so efficient at shifting from the disengaged DMN to the hyper-focused TPN that it creates a powerful tunnel for my awareness, making me oblivious to my surroundings. While this is a burden for texting while walking, it's an absolute superpower for flow state and for human connection. The faster you can make that shift, the faster you can engage your full focus. And the more you've resensitized your dopamine system through the previous steps, the easier this shift becomes. Think about what this means for dating. When you are on a date, you are not half present, thinking about work, or checking for notifications. You are singularly focused on the person in front of you. You listen with your entire being. Your awareness is a spotlight, and for that moment, they are the only person under it. How do you think that makes someone feel? Seen. Heard. Valued. In a world of infinite distraction, offering someone your complete, undivided attention is one of the most profound and attractive gifts you can give. So let's bring this all together. We started with a simple problem, the phantom buzz in your pocket, the divided attention that's sabotaging your life and your love life. We discovered it's not a character flaw, it's a biological hijacking by design. But you are not powerless. You are in control of this relationship. You're going to master your dopaminergic system by making the boring rewarding. You will take boring breaks to starve your brain so it craves focus. You will inhabit the in-between moments, finding peace in the stillness, cultivating a monk-like mind that is impervious to distraction. You will become a digital minimalist, ruthlessly cutting out the clutter and consciously choosing how you engage with technology. And you will practice the superpower of singular focus, doing one thing at a time, offering the world, and the people you care about, the gift of your full presence. This is a hard battle. Don't expect perfection. You will stumble. You will find yourself mindlessly scrolling at 2 a.m. It doesn't matter. When you fall off, get right back on the next day. Improvement counts. Effort counts. Start small. Don't try to do all of this at once. Here is your first mission. For the next 24 hours, try a ban on your single most time-wasting app. Delete it. See how it feels. Notice the urges. Notice the thoughts that surface when they are no longer silenced by the scroll. This is more than just getting your time back. This is about reclaiming your mind. It's about turning your work into play, and your presence into a gift. It is the Stoic path to building a life of purpose, discipline, and deep, authentic connection. You have the power to create the environment, and the mind, that you want. So start today. You will be glad you did. If this message resonated with you, subscribe for more content on mastering your mind the Stoic way. And in the comments below, tell me the one small step you are going to take today. Let's hold each other accountable. Now go, and be present.